Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for me to do a video that is not a Blu-ray or DVD pickups video. This is my 4K Ultra HD disc collection as of December 30th, 2020. And one of the things that I'm going to say right out of the gate before you watch this video is you're probably going to look at my disc collection and say, do you ever open and watch any of the movies that you buy? And the reason that most of them are still in the cellophane or still sealed is because when I buy a movie, it's usually because I've seen that movie and I love that movie and I want to own that movie, but it isn't necessarily because I want to immediately watch that movie. I want to have that movie available to watch. So as you'll see, I haven't watched a lot of these particular films on 4K yet. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't, but I've seen most of them. And so when I want to rewatch them, I want to be able to watch them in the highest quality possible. So that will explain why most of these are unopened. It's not because I buy them and want to look at them on my shelf. That's not why I buy them. So just wanted to get that out of the way before somebody inevitably posted that in the comments below. And I'm sure somebody will be a smartass and post that in the comments below anyway. So I pulled these off the shelf. They're sort of in reverse alphabetical order. They did fall over once while I was getting ready to film, so they may not be in exact reverse alphabetical order. I'm sure you don't really care. But we'll go first with the first one in the collection, last one I pulled off the shelf, which is Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven, for which he also directed and I believe won an Academy Award. It did win Best Picture. Best Director he did win, and it did win Best Supporting Actor for Gene Hackman and Editing for Joel Cox. So it won 4 Academy Awards. This is a fantastic Western. It's just a fantastic movie in general, one of Clint Eastwood's best, and absolutely one of my favorite Westerns. So I got it on 4K. I'm going to explain this weird cover art because if you watched a pickups video that I did, probably one of the first that I did since launching this channel, so it was probably around June or July, I bought the movie Thor on 4K Ultra HD in a steelbook, but the steelbook came extremely damaged. So I took the discs out of it, bought a 4K Ultra HD empty case off of eBay, and then I just printed some random crappy artwork, and I printed this artwork, which is really terrible. There's misspellings on it. It's just really bad. It's really blurry. It's really crappy. But I will assure you that the discs are 4K on the inside. But I just wanted to differentiate this because I do own the regular Blu-ray version of Thor. So I have the 4K version of Thor as well. I bought it in a lot, so I really wasn't interested in buying this particular movie on 4K, but I do own it on 4K. This one is one of my favorite of the DC cinematic universe, the DC extended universe, the DCEU as it is known, and that is Shazam. This is a hilarious film. It's also a pretty well done superhero film. Like I said, it's one of my favorite of the DC universe. I think that Zachary Levi is just fantastic in this film. He's hilarious. I know a lot of people know him from Chuck, but I really like his performance in this film. And the kid that plays the younger Billy Batson, his name's Asher Angel. He's really good too. But this is universally just an all-around good superhero film. Speaking of a good superhero film, it is Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. This I saw in the theater. This was nominated for Best Animated Feature. I believe it won. I could be wrong. If it didn't, it should have. But this is just a fantastic... I'm going to use that word a lot to describe a lot of the films I show today because I'm really into hyperbole today. But this is just a great film. If you don't know the Spider-Man origin or the Spider-Man mythos, as it were, this is a good introduction, as good as introduction as any, because it introduces you not only to Peter Parker, but to Miles Morales as well. And the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. The animation is fantastic, and seeing this in 4K is an absolute must. A great film. I have the other Spider-Man live action films. I have Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the last of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films that was released in theaters. I believe this came out last summer, I believe. 2019? 2018? I can't read and I can't remember, so I believe it was last year. But this is an excellent movie. It is not my favorite Spider-Man movie, but Tom Holland is a really good Peter Parker. He's actually my favorite Peter Parker. And Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes, so I also have SpiderMan Homecoming, which was the first standalone film starring Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. And this, of course, was not his first appearance in the Marvel Universe. That was in Captain America Civil War. But this is an excellent, excellent introduction to the character with more of a focus on him. And then for those of you who like the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, I also have Spider-Man the Legacy collection with, this has the Tobey Maguire, the 3 Tobey Maguire films, but this also has Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 starring Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. And I don't like those as much. I like the first one, but the second one is pretty bad. But as I've said, this is in the cellophane still wrapped because it's a movie I have seen, or 5 movies I've seen many times over. But the next time I want to watch one of them, I will open this up and watch it on 4K. This is the Predator collection. This is the 4 Predator films, Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator. I bought this quite a while ago, and I still haven't opened it. And I got a really good deal on it. I don't know if it was a Black Friday deal or what. I got this right after it was released, after The Predator was released on home video. This was made available. I love the original Predator. Predator 2, I don't like anywhere near as much. Predators is pretty good. And the Predator has some hilarious dialogue, but it's a pretty all-around awful excuse for a Predator film. Anyway, Predator collection. One of the few films I have in my collection that I have not seen that I have on 4K is Knives Out. I got a really good deal on this from Amazon a couple of weeks ago, and just haven't gotten around to watching this. I intended to see this in the theater, then I intended to rent it, then I bought it, and I still haven't watched it, so I'm looking forward to doing that very soon. But to make up for it, a film that I've watched probably more times than I've watched any other movie, than maybe Superman the movie or maybe Star Wars. Those are close. I have the Steelbook edition of Jaws on 4K, and this includes some nifty inside artwork. But this is an excellent, excellent film, and it looks great on 4K, as good as a movie from 1975 could look. But I really enjoy this film. This is absolutely one of my favorite films of all time. And I'll show these two together because I have the Jurassic Park 25th Anniversary Collection. This has 4 films, on 4K Ultra HD. The original Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park The Lost World, or The Lost World Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, and then I have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's more probably because I am a completist and want all of the Jurassic Park films, not necessarily because I love them all. I do love the first one a lot. Jurassic Park 3 is okay. The Lost World is pretty bad. Jurassic World is all right, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is probably the worst of the lot. And I'll show these together. This is the John Wick collection. I got this one first. This is a steelbook, and even though it just says John Wick, it does actually include John Wick, the first film, and then John Wick 2. These are excellent action films. And then, to go along with those two, I have John Wick 3, which I have not watched yet. So, I have those. And then these are all related, so I'll show these. I have the original Halloween. Whoops, the original Halloween. They're both called the same thing. The original 1978 Halloween on 4K. And this is one of my favorite horror films of all time. And this is a direct sequel, but it came out in 2018, which is probably the best of the Halloween sequels, even though it discards the existence of all the other Halloween sequels. I like it a lot. It's not perfect. There are a lot of flaws to it. But I would say that it makes a decent enough sequel when compared to all the other sequels. Another one that I have on 4K that I have not watched yet is First Man with Ryan Gosling. And this is the story of Neil Armstrong. And this is one I just haven't had time to watch. I keep wanting to make time to watch it, but I think it's really long. Let me see if it says how long it is. Maybe my brain is just telling me it's long and just making me put off watching it, but I'm not 100% sure what the length is. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Well, I spent 2 hours and 31 minutes watching Wonder Woman 1984 today, so I should probably get to watching this. Another film that is one of my favorites, E.T. Steven Spielberg, 1982. Fantastic movie. Going to say it many more times, probably before this is over again. But this is the pretty well-known movie about the extraterrestrial who comes and befriends a young boy and wants to go home. If you haven't seen this movie, I pity you. And I'll show these two together. They are both steelbooks, they are both 4K, and they are both Deadpool movies. And I've seen both of these multiple times. This is the original Deadpool, which introduced everybody to Ryan Reynolds playing everybody's smart-assed, smart-mouthed mercenary. And Deadpool 2, which probably has really crappy, some of the crappiest cover art I've ever seen on a steelbook, but it does fit the character. This one includes an unrated version. This one, I don't know if it does or not. But anyway, these were both from Best Buy. Another Steven Spielberg movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of my favorite movies of all time. And I've seen this movie, I don't know how many times. And like I said, I just haven't watched it on this particular version. But I do own it in 4K. Great movie. Richard Dreyfuss is fantastic in it. This one is good, but not for the reasons you might expect. This is Bohemian Rhapsody, the story of the rock group Queen, and in particular Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury is he's the type of person that I don't think any movie would really do justice to his life. But this probably comes as close as we're going to get in our lifetime. Rami Malek, his performance as Freddie Mercury is fantastic. Some people criticize it as more of an imitation than a performance and real acting, but it is excellent. The movie plays fast and loose with some factual information and chronology, but if you like the music of Queen, it's worth a watch. And then last, well, not last, but almost last, Alien from 1979, another fantastic film. I've heard this looks really, really good in 4K, but I have not watched it yet. And if you were watching this video and you're going, but Sean, we wanted to know how all these movies looked in 4K. I can't really tell you other than John Wick and Jaws and one of the films that is in this collection, which is The Last Jedi. And I haven't opened this yet, obviously. I literally just got this the other day, so I haven't watched it. So if you're going to give me any crap for not opening this yet, that's because I haven't owned it for more than 72 hours. But there you go. That's the Skywalker saga with all 9 of the Skywalker films on 4K. Wait, I forgot. I have a couple more. Hold on. Okay, I picked up 3 movies recently and I forgot to bring them in and put them on my shelves, so I forgot to put them in this video. But I also picked up recently Solo, a Star Wars story, which many people give a lot of grief to, but I actually think it's a really good Star Wars heist film. Also got Rogue One, which takes place between the prequels and Episode 4. Not a bad film. And one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Arnold Schwarzenegger film, Total Recall, which is amazing. And I'm not sure how it looks. I've heard mixed reviews on how it looks on 4K, but I literally just picked these 3 films up, so I haven't seen them in 4K yet either. So there you go. That's my collection of 4K Ultra HD discs. And one of my goals for this year, or this coming year for 2021, is to actually sit down and watch most of these, if not all of these, on 4K disc with my 4K player. So my dog is telling me somebody's here, so I'm going to complete this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.